Welcome back to another episode of The Professionals, Justifying Media, Scum and Villainy, Actual Play. I am your GM, and today I would love for you to tell me what you think is a 10 out of 10 album. Like from start to finish, every song just slaps. Bonus points if it is a less heard of album, right? Because there's like the cultural ones that everyone can be like, oh, that album is just great. But bonus points if you can name something not known by many.
Can I just say that I am so jealous of our non-Twitch listeners who get that week time frame to de-stress between episodes.
Yeah.
Danny does not get that. Yeah, you all don't get that. Sometimes you get 2 weeks though between episodes. So, you know.
True.
I've actually got like 2 or 3 that spring to mind. But...
That's fine.
I got one. We can always throw out more. Cross by Justice.
Cross by... I don't even know if I've heard of the band Justice.
They are in
so bonus points. Bonus points for
electronic music duo.
Okay.
Also French. Didn't know that. I just looked
Justice.
it up.
Sure it's not...
Sorry, I say also French because one of the biggest electronic bands ever
is French.
Daft Punk, and they're French. So it's also a duo, which is just kind of weird. But anyways,
I think I'm learning that all French people come in duos and play electronic
and play EDM.
All French people come in duos.
Really good EDM.
Yeah, great EDM.
To be fair,
the essence of the French spirit.
You've heard at least one of the songs from Cross.
Okay.
100%. It's called Genesis. If you guys remember,
I've read the first.
It's nothing like that. If you guys remember one of the first Assassin's Creed commercials, actually for Assassin's Creed 2, it opens up with just like EDM music.
Okay.
And then the bass drops, and it's Ezio starting to kill people as an assassin.
Okay.
Is that the one that starts with like Ezio walking up to like the edge of a building as
Yes. So he's like walking around. He's like being
watching
discreet.
Like the priest go through the crowd and then like runs down. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Maybe.
And then,
if I watched it, I'm sure I'd recognize it.
Dude, Assassin's Creed knew what they were doing with those commercials, man. Those were so good.
Yeah, they used to know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I still like Assassin's Creed. Honestly, I like the new system.
It's all right.
Fun.
It's okay.
You don't have to like
an
it. I don't
RPG
care.
now.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I have not played them, so I shouldn't talk too much trash. It just, to me, at the end of the Ezio trilogy, we lost some disconnect.
Something.
Anyways, moving on.
Lost something.
There was definitely a dip for a while after Ezio.
Yeah.
My album choice would probably, I'm super biased, and this is partly nostalgia, but Homesick album, 2009, From a Day to Remember. That was really just a particular phase of my life. And I was in a band playing heavily inspired music.
Awesome. I gotta hear that music at some point.
There may be some recordings around, not of the quality that I would feel proud of, but yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some of those recordings, and they are not of quality that you should be proud of.
Johnny's heard some of it, yeah. But had a fun time with that, and great memories of listening to most of that album repeatedly in the car with friends. So,
do you feel like if you were to listen to that album now, you'd be like, that is objectively a 10 out of 10? Like that is.
I don't think so, but I don't know any album that I feel that way about, and I'm also not someone who actively searches for music ever.
Okay.
So
okay.
Music has to find me through other people, and I absorb it.
We live such different lives as it relates to music, Steve. It's so interesting.
We do. I do not hunt.
No, it's so fun. It's fun being friends with people who are so different from you. But I am the type to like actively search out music and like look for new things I've never heard before and all that kind of stuff. But I think for me, 10 out of 10 album all the way through. Again, there is a nostalgia factor to it, but I listen to this album all the time still. Like it still comes up. It's still really excellent. Is Under Oath's Define the Great Line.
Okay.
Incredible.
I have heard of Under Oath. This is the first band I have heard of.
Yeah, they're definitely not an underground band. Yeah, but I think the only albums I can think of that are 10 out of 10 all the way through are bands that are not super like underground.
For sure. For sure.
Hmm.
I said bonus points.
Bonus. That's true.
Bonus
That's
points.
true.
Oh, we leaned that way for sure. You didn't know two of them. That's pretty good.
There you go.
You can always name Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, right?
Yeah.
So
Do you know the band Dayseeker?
I don't know.
Yeah, they've got a really good album that is incredible. Also, that is 10 out of 10 all the way through.
Okay.
And so there, that one I can get the bonus points.
There we go.
I'm trying to remember the name of the album though.
I take those bonus points back then.
Sleep Talk. The
Okay,
album's
all
Sleep
right.
Talk.
I'll give them back to you. All right. Okay, you get it back.
Thank you.
So my answer is also kind of biased due to this nostalgia.
It has
And
to be.
Justin knows me well, and I think
I
he
guess.
might have an idea of what I'm going to say.
Britney Spears.
Play
But
the Avett Brothers,
I'm
right?
throwing a curveball at you, Justin.
Okay.
I think that The Second Law by Muse is a really good album, and I consider that to be perfect.
The Muse is not where I think you're going. I assumed you'd
It is
say
not.
some
You
Avett
thought I was going to
Brothers.
say emotionalism, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I
You
did
rat
think that.
bastard.
I've cut that out of the audio now.
Oh, sorry.
Not for skill
I do think Emotionalism is a 10 out of 10 album too, though. I think it's a
Who's that
great
by?
album.
The Avett Brothers.
Okay, that's where I thought Danny was
I
going.
think that might be their best album.
Oh, I think it
I
is
think I would
too.
argue that is.
I've never heard a single Avett Brothers song, and I do not intend to change that.
What the?
I will
I'm
second that.
I'm not a huge fan of like country, but I do like a lot of folk stuff. So I enjoy the Avett Brothers. They're good.
I do like some folk, like Americana stuff.
Yeah.
There's something about the Avett Brothers and like the people. No offense, Danny, but the people that I know that like the Avett Brothers, that I'm like, I don't want to listen to the Avett Brothers. I'm not going to listen to
Those
it.
Yeah,
people.
we ruin
Those
it. We
people.
ruin it for other people. But no, I always find myself going back to the songs from Second Law and being like, oh, these are all so.
Sure.
You know, Muse has a few albums that I would say are at least close to 10 out of 10 all the way through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
for sure.
Absolution and Black Holes and Revelations, both of those albums are incredible, like straight through.
Oh,
The faces right now. The faces that these albums produce.
Yeah. That's how you know.
I feel like
I
Muse
have
is
two
one of
more,
those
but
bands
they're
too,
like-
where all of their albums are either a hit or a miss. Like they don't really have in between
Yeah,
for their
For sure.
albums.
For sure.
Because they also produce some stinkers.
Some stankers.
oh yeah.
Oh boy.
They produce some trash,
you.
but ooh, when it hits, it hits. It hits.
I recently listened to an album that I listened to oh my gosh, probably like 7 years ago now. And I listened to it again and I was like, I think this is a 10 out of 10 album. Act 1 by Merrai Hill
Oh,
is a great album from start to finish.
Never heard of it.
You would probably know they're like one of the first AirPod commercials. It was like a dancer. It was like a black and white, and they were dancing in the street. And there was this like soft piano. It was like dun 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 dun, and then the beat drops, and they start dancing. And that's I looked up that song and found Merrai Hill and started listening to this album, and it's really good. It's really good. It's like electronic meets jazz meets hip hop, and it's really fun. It's fun stuff.
Justin, I
That's a
was
hard
really
sell for
hoping
me.
that you were
That's
going to
three
say
genres I
the.
really don't touch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Justin.
like a lot of those separately, but it really works well together. I don't know. They do a good job.
Interesting.
I was really
I
hoping
like
you were
all
going
of
to say
those
the band covers of those Muppet songs, that album.
Oh, that might be a 10 out of 10 album too. That's a pretty good one.
That's a pretty good one.
There's an album called The Green Album, and it's all a bunch of like early 2000s like and late 90s bands, like our bands covering Muppet songs. So like the first song is OK Go doing the Muppet theme song. And
I love that version of the Muppet theme.
The next song is who is it? It's no, not the
Doesn't
Fray.
Owl City do one?
No, they don't. But the Fray does Phenomena. And
yeah.
Haley Williams from Paramore, and
yes, that's what,
who is it? It's another like punk band. They do Rainbow Connection, and just it's so fun from start to finish. It's just
That is fun.
It's nostalgia from Muppets. It's nostalgia from
Man,
like
that
punk
makes me
rock.
Maybe next week. I know you usually come up with the banter questions, Justin, but maybe next time we should do favorite songs from fake bands.
Oh, that's a fun one. Okay, all right. We've got a couple weeks to think about it. Favorite song from a fake band.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, or even just favorite fake band. Yeah, like Black Sheep by the
yeah.
Sex
or
Bomb.
Sex Bomb is Scott Pilgrim's band, but Black Sheep is from the Clash of Demon Head.
Yes, the Clash of Demon
Adams
Head.
band.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Y'all, we're kind of talking now. If you have not watched Scott Pilgrim Takes Off,
it's so good.
Please watch it.
I cried.
I gotta get my friend's Netflix.
Was sobbing like unexpectedly.
I haven't
just
finished it yet. But...
bawling through multiple episodes. It's so good.
Dude,
yeah, I'm only on
cartoons
episode like
making
3,
us cry.
But...
Yeah, and like the first one doesn't make me cry because it's that is a product I think of its time, and then this is now like the product of its time version of Scott Pilgrim. It's so good. Watch it.
Yeah,
highly recommend it. It's very good. But we are not young adults trying to find love and dealing with our generational trauma in Scum and Villainy. We're space explorers dealing with generational trauma
for yourself.
And their own terrible actions.
I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. But carry on.
I was just trying to find a real loose and real terrible connection to getting into the story.
Oh, well, you did that.
I did that.
Found it.
I accomplished it. I've done it.
He's done anything. He's done that.
I've done that. Last episode, you broke into an isotropic max secure prison freighter in order to bust out some mem and 160, another Ramdan, who was friends or acquaintances with Carlton Graves, and
maybe even enemies.
And maybe enemies. At least Carlton doesn't like 160, but I think that's a Carlton thing and not a Ramdan thing.
I think we need to both agree to be enemies. It's
true. You broke into the freighter. You had some fancy hacking. You looped the audio footage. You stole some guard uniforms and prison uniforms, and you pulled the old classic Wookiee prisoner routine. Got into the prison cell area, kicked the guards into the cell, shot the other 2 guards, and now it is a very simple matter of finding the prisoners you're looking for and getting back to your ship. Very easy to do.
Yeah. We were rolling nothing but rocks. I think maybe the universe is looking to catch up to us. We got to keep outrunning it.
I think it's time. I think it might be time, yeah.
I'm always just trying to stay one step ahead of the universe, you know?
Justin had a slip of the tongue, and he said that we looped the audio footage. And now I'm just thinking about a prison that instead of security cameras just has a bunch of mics set up, and how ineffective that would be.
Yeah,
someone's walking through the hall.
Yeah, it sounds like there might be an issue on cell block D. Can somebody go look and tell me what's going on?
Oh god,
the video's the same though too, so it's like a video of the 5 of you walking down, but the audio is like 2 guards making out.
That'd be so disturbing to hear. All right.
You have kicked these guards into the cell and closed it. You have shot the other 2 guards. Those 4 guards though are making, "Okay, get us out of here! Hey, help! Hey, we've got prisoners that escaped."
Can I walk up to? I want to try the same thing I did to the prisoners in the laundry with these guards.
You certainly may. You are attuned.
Calm them down.
I walk up to the cell door, and I raise my hands, and as I reach out to the way, I say to them, "This is where you want to be. This is where you feel safe now."
I would like an attune. I think this is a desperate position, and I think it's going to be a limited effect. In other words, it might do it for a little bit. But a tier 3 faction of prison guards probably have a pretty decent resolve.
Yeah, I think that might be true, and the universe has certainly caught up with us.
No.
No, because I just rolled a 1 and a 2.
No.
Oh, no. All right.
I'm
Here we
scared to
are.
roll.
Here
Can't
we
keep
are.
running
We're
forever.
here.
Not a
Can't
bad
keep
roll
running
to fail.
forever.
That's true.
It's
At
not.
least they're still in a cell.
They are. I mean,
They're just like, "Ugh, I have indigestion now. What was that you did to me?
I don't. Well, I mean,
You're gonna tell me
here's
they
the
yell
thing.
their way out of a cell, Justin? Come on.
Look,
Yeah, their voice just shouts, and they. No. What did I say? You said a 3.
A 2.
2 and
A
1.
2.
I rolled a 3 total.
Here's what I think it is, which is that there was something you did not see. One of them pulls out a walkie-talkie. There's a moment where they pause as Thetis says this, and it looks like they're about to stop. And then he pulls out the walkie-talkie and says,
Can I resist that?
"Oh, you certainly may."
what's your
certainly
stress
may.
at, Johnny?
My stress is I've got 3 empty. Like I'm at 6
Okay.
stress.
Okay.
Yeah, so I tell you how I'm resisting.
Absolutely, yeah.
Smash
they-
against the wall.
Are they standing close to the cell door?
They can be, yeah.
Yeah, I my hand whips out as he pulls out the walkie-talkie and I cut it off. I pull up my sword and cut his hand off.
You don't want to just
Oh.
force pull it off of his hands?
Well, they're like behind the. It's like
Okay, I'm picturing cells like we have. So
no,
never
yeah,
mind.
it's like electric fields.
Yeah,
more.
then I'll use kinetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use kinetics to
Cool.
Yoink.
Knock them all into
Yeah.
each other.
I was gonna say raise them all up to the ceiling and then like just drop them.
Okay. I
their
think
heads.
that is a prowess then.
Okay,
Prowess.
that is my best one.
Oh,
So what do
good.
I roll with the number
Uh,
of pips I have in that first row?
In
Is
that
right?
first row? Yep.
Okay,
And
so that's
then
3
the
dice.
highest. Okay.
Okay.
Come on, 1.
One of them's a 6. Okay.
Okay,
Got
you're good.
Got a 6.
Baby.
The other 2 were both
Oh.
ones, Justin.
Oh my god.
So close. So close. You're gonna take no stress. That's crazy. And you see that this guard gets over your mental prowess and pulls up his walkie-talkie, and before he does, you lift all 4 of them up into the air, drop them back down onto the ground, and they are unconscious.
I don't take any stress from the resisting, but I do take stress from using my kinetics, just so you know. I have to push myself to do that. So
Oh, okay. Great. Cool. Good to know.
Justin's happy
Yeah.
to know that.
So you have
I
one
am
stress
so
to spare
happy.
then?
what'd you say, Danny?
So you have 1 stress to spare then?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good,
this is gonna
good,
go
good.
poorly.
Okay. Whew.
What do you do now?
We should just leave
Well done.
at this point.
We
Good
need to
bounce, for
get
sure.
the prisoners. What are you talking about?
All right.
I think maybe. So we've talked about this before. We have not done it yet, but like meta over the table. I think maybe this is the episode we abandon a mission.
What?
I'm just thinking about where
We
all
will
of us
see.
are stress wise.
We're in the prison.
We're in the prison and we're never leaving if we don't go now.
Let's get back into character and see what happens. I love that Johnny shared that though.
I don't know. Let's at least look for 160 in the mem.
Justin, are we near like
Mhm.
being by this cell B14? I think it was like. I
Yeah.
assume we're in an area that has a cluster of other cells adjacent. So we're essentially
sure.
in the main holding area.
Yes, it's like a long line of cells. There's like, a couple stories of it maybe to house
Yeah.
the 200 or so prisoners.
Okay, and so each individual cell I'm picturing is just sort of recessed a little bit so that folks in the adjacent cells couldn't really know anything happened over here unless for whatever reason the walls were thin, type of a deal.
They would hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
people on the other side, on the other end, can see what you've done.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
But the people,
Question. I'm assuming I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Have we seen a single Xeno guard, or are they all human?
They're all human guards.
Okay.
Friggin' ice. Sorry, I just intuitively shortened isotropic max secure to ice. Anyway, I'm gonna go channel this xenophobic anti-xenophobic rage. Graves just picks a direction down the hall and just starts scanning each of the cells for Xenos.
I think Gears will go in the opposite direction to the command.
Sure.
Terminal area.
Havoc sits down.
Let's do that. Let's just sit. Okay.
You go this way. You go this way. I'll sit.
I'll just stay here.
A button outside of the cells that like opens it, like you just push the button and the cell opens.
It's not a button. It's more of like a command panel. So it's not just like press this button. You got to enter some commands in. So some sort of action would be needed to do that.
Okay.
Like a code.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Gears, why don't you're going back to look for where these specific prisoners are?
Yeah, if they have anything like a prisoner log or something like that.
Yeah, they absolutely would have a prisoner log. Give me an action roll.
I will hack. I'm attempting to hack into their system.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it's a risky position, and we'll say standard effect. You'll figure out where these specific prisoners are.
Less effect.
And less effect. So limited effect. I will give you some of where the prisoners are.
I take it. If I roll well enough. Okay, 3.
Wonderful.
Oh,
this is the episode.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what happens. We're gonna use this and cut to Graves a little bit as well too. You're hacking in and you find, they probably grabbed like, I don't know, maybe like half a dozen or so of the mem from the planet, as well as 160. And you see where
we're doing this for 6 people.
Okay, it can be more. Sure, it can be more.
Wow, Johnny.
Thetis is like, we're doing this for 6 people? Oh, I'm out. See you guys. And he just vanishes.
You here to save your friends?
You find where the mem are stored. However, the door to 160 is open. You can see it in the logs that it has been opened. Carlton, as you are running down the hallway, you see a figure standing with a laser pistol to 160's head.
How the hell would he know?
You see
Sorry.
an old enemy of yours.
No.
Oh.
She's got like long hair, half of it shaved though, so it kind of swoops to the side, and she's just got a laser pistol to 160's head, who's squirming, but is not strong enough to break from her grip. She goes, "Oh, Carlton. What a surprise seeing you here."
Carlton stops, just halts, comes short of, getting close enough that he thinks that he would trigger, a shot from her or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually looks a little scared, like a slight tremble in one of his hands. Hey, what are you doing here?
What a funny story. I was hired for a job to help Isotropic Max Secure round up some revolutionaries on Mem. And I found a Ramdan there. And I just had to come along because I knew, well, I've only seen one other Ramdan, the one who escaped my hit. And I just couldn't let that stand, Carlton. So I figured if I was here waiting for you, eventually you'd show up. I know you Ramdans stick together.
You came here just to hunt me?
I can't let my reputation be tarnished, Carlton. Somebody put out a hit on you, and you escaped. The way requires me to rectify that.
Then let the half pint go. You have your quarry.
I would like an action roll from you.
What is the intimidate version of sway? I don't know if there is one.
Command?
Command. I have one tip in command.
Command certainly works.
I will roll command.
Okay. I think that this is a risky position if I've ever heard one. Is it desperate? We'll say risky. And we'll say a standard effect. She will accept your challenge.
Okay. Four.
Aaron smiles. I don't even know if we said the name. This is an assassin.
Isn't it AYA? Yeah, I thought it was.
You might be thinking of. I think you might be thinking of my rival or Lito's.
It is
rival.
Aya. Yep, you guys have two rivals that both start with A and have Ys, and so I got them confused. Aya gives this creepy smile on her face. Fine, but I don't want to make this too easy for you. She throws 160 to the side and shoots him in the side. He's bleeding out. You're going to have to finish me fast.
You'll regret that. Carlton charges.
Yeah. Give me another action roll.
Okay. I just saw people winding up, so I wasn't sure if you wanted to cut or anything to. So.
No, I want to stay here. There's tension.
All right.
I want to stay here.
All right. Oh, there's plenty of tension. Yeah. I mean, I would just try to close the gap as quick as I could. Okay. Carlton tips forward, just like at a pitch, and horns first, charges at Aya, just hoping to make contact before she can fire.
For sure. Give me a roll.
Yeah.
What action do you think?
It's just going to be, the sprint. I'll lean into scramble.
Okay, I like scramble. I think it's risky. I think it's standard. You'll close the gap.
All right, let's do it. 4 is my highest.
Okay. I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to start a clock for 160.
Okay.
I think that is needed. I found this very cool new tool that lets me share clocks with players and they can see it as I update it. It's very cool.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun and cool.
It's fun and cool. It's cool and fun.
So nice and fun and cool.
So nice and fun and cool. This is a 6-segment clock called 160 Dead. Okay.
Nice.
Sounds like another good album name.
160 Dead.
160 Dead by Isotropic Maxicure.
That's funny. I'm marking 2 off of that. And that was from the complication from last time. And now you have another, you do it, so you close the gap, but there is a consequence. Yeah, I think as you're charging, she aims her pistol at you and starts firing it at you, and a number of them hit you. I would like for you to take the level 1 harm. Shot blaster pistol. Blasted.
Take the level 1 harm holes.
Can Gears act in this moment?
Let's stay here for just a moment. Do you accept
that? No, to react to this. Oh, sorry. No, I see what you're saying. Sorry.
I would accept the consequence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Take that level 1
Just
harm.
Take the fire. Yep.
Take the fire. You close the gap, and as you get up, she drops her pistol and pulls out this retractable blade. And it is, as the 2 of you are now locked in pitch melee combat, that we will cut to Gears. I will say too that the 3 of you can hear some commotion coming from further down the hallway. You can kind of make out Gears. He dropped something
Graves.
and is now Graves and is now charged further down the hallway.
They're making out.
Yeah. So, no.
Just let Danny have that.
Is it clear that this person that Grace is engaged with is obviously not a prisoner? They're not wearing prisoner garb.
They're not. No. And like I said, I'm not even totally sure that you can see what's happening from where you are. It's a big enough distance down the hallway that you can see that Graves is in some sort of movement, risky movement, but you're not quite sure what is happening.
I think
commotion.
Gears would immediately assume that it was a guard, that we missed, or was down the hall.
That makes sense.
And Gears goes to try to open up as many cells in that area as he can.
Yeah, that's actually right along the lines of what I was going to do with.
I love it.
With Thetis.
I love it.
So.
Because I'm at the control thing. I'm going to try to hack.
I need an action. A hack action, I think, is risky. I think it is a standard effect. I think to add some tension, I think I want to create a clock for unlocking the prison cells. It's going to take a while for you to unlock them all.
All right. The other flip is I have lessened effect.
And you have lessened effect, so does limited effect. I will not make it a terribly long clock. We'll say it is 4 segments.
Okay.
So is Gears at the main command panel?
Yes.
That was down the hall? Okay.
Okay. 6 on the first roll.
Okay.
That's a gambit.
Yeah, that is a gambit.
Again, we had a surplus, and then we had done.
So there are a number of cells on the 2nd floor that start unlocking as you see a number of prisoners coming out, maybe a handful on the 1st floor and a handful on the 3rd floor. I have marked 1 segment off of that 4-segment clock.
Okay.
I
get 2 segments.
Because of your,
when I work on a clock, that's my Tinker starting ability for mechanic.
Nice.
Any clock with rigor hack, I get plus 1 segment.
There you go. Thetis and Havoc, what are you 2 doing?
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Do we know, I think we said how many cells there were on here, but do we know how many prisoners there are? Is it 2 to a cell, 400 prisoners or something like that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure. And then do we know roughly how many guards there are?
I will say that because I believe that Gears got a limited effect on the schematic. I will say that no, you do not know how many guards there are.
Yeah, but we'd probably be safe assuming there's not as many guards as there are prisoners, right?
There's usually
standard
less
protocol. You wouldn't. It's so expensive.
Probably 1 to 10, if even that.
Just imagine the health benefits.
Yeah. Okay. I want to do something.
Hegemoney's not made of money.
Yeah, I walk up to the
That's
panel
your
where
money.
Gears is, and how many segments are left on that clock?
2 segments.
2 segments.
Yes.
So I don't know if this maybe will change the clock or expand the clock or something like that, but I don't want to just open the cells that are right here. I want to open every cell on the ship. And I want to like say over the loudspeaker, take the ship and take your freedom.
Okay. So you're going back to the command center to like help Gears with that? Okay.
Yeah.
And
so here's what I want to do though. I don't want to try and hack. I don't want to try and hack like Gears
I understand.
is.
I understand.
Want to reach out using the way, because the way runs in and through all of us.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
so somewhere in the way is the actual password for the console that's going to allow me to actually take control of the cells. And so I want to roll tune.
Yes. I accept. I love that little caveat of like, the password's there. I know the password. I don't need to hack. It's in there.
I'm not saying I know the password, but I can find the password.
Because the password runs in and through all of us.
The password is in and through all of us. Everything is in and through all of us.
I might not find it. I might get a bad roll.
For sure. No, I'm
Don't do
with
that.
you.
Don't roll bad.
I do think that's a tune. I do think that, you know what? I think that's a desperate action.
Okay.
I think that's a desperate action.
It's an
XP. Yep.
Look at that.
I will say this. I will say with a standard effect, you can find the password. How about that?
Okay. I'm so nervous to look at what these numbers are. Double sixes.
Oh!
Okay.
Double sixes.
Oh!
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So you do it with increased effect, which is going to make a great effect. I think I think you find the password and are able to enter it into the thing and can give your little revolutionary speech over the loudspeakers if you'd like.
I literally only say what I said. I do not like elaborate at all. But like as people, I say that as cells are just, swinging open.
Okay, I love it. I'm gonna change this clock. So the cells are unlocked.
Ooh.
I'm gonna change this. It's gonna be a bit larger of a clock. It's gonna be prisoners overrun ship.
I like that.
Nice. Do we get a gambit back for that too? I don't know. I don't remember what type of rolls we get gambit on if we crit.
Critical on a desperate action?
Do not.
It was desperate.
No, you do not. Desperates do
so
not.
You get
Yes.
You get XP. You don't get gambit.
Yeah, you do not get gambit. Gambits are on risky actions.
Okay.
And
it's not risky or greater. Just
controlled.
While this is happening, I think Havoc would be most useful running back and out and getting the ship and bringing it close to the prison freighter.
I love this.
So
I love
Havoc,
yeah.
So I think
as these cell doors start opening,
a remote activation of the ship. Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
Well, Havoc can do it. Yeah. So
can we do that? Can we do a remote activation of the ship just to bring it close?
Yeah, you still have to get to it.
Yeah. I think it sounds like a flashback to have it set up to be remote activated, potentially. Yeah.
I'm not rolling a flashback. Are you insane?
Okay. Then
Havoc
you just gotta get to it.
You gotta get to the ship. You gotta get to the ship.
As these cell doors start opening, Havoc just sits up from fetal position, turns, and starts running back down the hallway.
Yeah, for sure. Havoc, as you're running down the hallway, you begin to see prisoners starting to take out and attack guards. Guards are picking up weapons and firing down the hallways. There are prisoners that are running and jumping on guards. It is chaos, and I need an action to get through this chaos to a space where you can get to the ship.
I don't necessarily want to make things harder, but I just remembered that Havoc, Gears, and Slice are all wearing guard uniforms right now.
I take out my
Stop,
guard
Johnny.
uniform.
Stop, Johnny. Stop.
I had
Can
forgotten
Havoc
that
be
too.
stripping as he's running?
Sure, that's fine.
Well, you have to get your spacesuit on. You're going to go into space.
Oh,
so.
true. Yeah.
It is fine. I'm not going to be.
That is hilarious, though.
Yes.
I open up all the things. We're like,
attacking Havoc.
just take your clothes off.
I need an action though to get through what is becoming a very tense fight scene across the entire ship between these prisoners and these guards.
So Havoc, as he's running, he's like ducking behind things, say if there's like a fight happening, he'll go around a corner and wait for it to end and start running. So I'm gonna argue for Skulk.
Argue for Skulk. Okay. I like that Skulk. Oh boy. We'll just say it's risky. And we'll say it is a standard effect. You'll get to a spot where you can find a way to get to the ship.
Okay. Skulking.
Mhm.
Please. A 4 and a 6. So
Okay. So you do it. Add a game.
I'll take the 6.
Yeah, please. Take the 4. You sure?
I think I'll take the 6.
Okay. All right. That's fine. There are scenes, of Havoc trying to sneak through all of this, and Havoc, you're seeing like at first, a lot of these prisoners are just getting gunned down because they don't have any weapons. They just run out and they're just charging at these guards. The guards have blaster rifles, so they're just mowing down these prisoners. There, you do see some scenes of prisoners who were able to get the jump on guards and are beating them senseless. But you avoid most of the commotion, and I'll say you get back to that ladder and that hatch that you came in through, to get back to your ship.
Okay, heck yeah. So now it's just Havoc
Getting back to the ship.
using his spacesuit to spacewalk back to the ship.
Yeah, I want to stay here for a moment. What action do you think you'd use to do that?
Oh, Helm, most definitely.
Yeah, I like Helm. Risky, and I'm not going to create a clock this time. Let's just say standard effect.
Okay. I'm rolling it. Trace dice. Because I'm a Helmy boy.
The helmiest boy we have.
The
The
Helmiest
Helmiest boy. What'd you get?
So if one were to roll 3 6s, does that mean we just win?
No, it is a critical though.
You can get a critical.
Okay, yeah. I rolled 3 6s on 3
That's
dice.
impressive. That's
Was
very
it
risky.
that universe?
It was risky, so you get a game it back.
Take that, math.
And I will say, let's see, with increased effect. I'll say this. I'll say you get there, and I won't, I won't make you roll to like bring the ship in. There might be some roll to like get it in position, but you've got plenty of time to like get to the ship and get the ship close to where they're coming out.
Okay.
Carlton, you are in melee with Aya. She has her retractable assassin's blade out. What do you do?
Yeah. Carlton throws an elbow. Like just a very punchy,
Yep.
stark kind of Muay Thai style.
Yep. I love it. What action do you think? I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but
I'm just scrapping, man. I'm scrapping at this point. Yeah.
scrap away. Risky, and we'll say standard effect.
Okay. I'm gonna take one of the gambit. I'm gonna use it
Okay. All right.
because I really need this to go well.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. 5.
Just roll 3 6s.
Okay. A 5. Yeah. You like elbow into Aya. She gets knocked back into the wall. And quickly recovers, but you did some damage. She slides back up to you and starts, in very quick motions, starts moving around you, like slashing you with her blade. You're now having to like block yourself more than you're able. You got the jump on her, but now you're gonna have to do something to knock her off and take her out. It takes some time, right? There's this extended time of you trying to keep yourself safe. I am going to mark. How much can I mark? I'm going to mark 2 off on 160 dead, which means there are 4 of the 6 marked. You look over and you can see blood just pouring out of 160.
Yeah. Oof. I think at this point, Carlton, just kind of glimpsing the blood pool and having to deal with parrying all of these blows, I'm going to say that he goes into a rage. And so I will mark the stress to do that.
Okay.
Now he's resistant to bludgeoning, slashing, piercing damage.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, because she's sort of whipping me into a frenzied state rather than what I've written,
sure.
which is for myself.
Yeah, no, I think it still makes sense. Yeah.
So my senses are just kind of overwhelmed, and I start to just shut that out.
Yeah.
And so now I get to choose 2 options instead, instead of 1, whenever I push myself until the rage ends, is what we had written. I forget what those options apply to, Justin.
So I think, I don't remember if we were talking about. So when you push yourself, you have options. You can take an extra die to your roll. You can take plus 1 level to your effect, or you can take an action when you're incapacitated. So even if you're out, you can always push yourself to do something. Those are your options there.
Love that.
I will say too that with your playbook ability, that extends to being able to choose that second option from Unstoppable if you want it.
To the physical, like feat.
Yes.
That verges on the superhuman.
Yes. So if you wanted to choose, push yourself and choose both of those options in Unstoppable, I think that works as well too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think as long as the camera's on me, I'll keep going. We good?
Please. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll mark Unstoppable. I'll use that. And in his rage, like Carlton just reaches a hand forward, kind of not caring at this point about where the blade lands next.
Yeah.
To just fully palm her face. And just squeeze. And the way I'm picturing the size differential.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking that Carlton's height, weight, strength, that he could actually manipulate someone's body just by grabbing their face. And so I would like to just torque, like twist. And so the push for this uncanny feat of strength is just to slam her down on the ground, just having grabbed her skull.
Oh, I love it. So you're pushing yourself, you're doing a feat of incredible strength. And what action do you think this is?
I'm going to say it's another scrap.
I like that. I think it's risky, and I think it is standard.
All right.
What options are you picking for pushing yourself? You can pick
I'm going to take the extra die.
Yep. And I'm assuming increase the effect.
Yep.
Yep. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yes, we are in 6 zone.
Okay.
Finally. Graves needs a 6.
You do not spend a gambit too, right? So you get a gambit.
Correct. Yeah.
So you can go ahead and add that back.
So that puts us at 2 now, right?
You pick up, I think you're back at 2 now. You pick up Aya, and the blade kind of stops moving for a moment as she's lifted off of the ground completely by just your single hand. And then you just slam her as hard as you can into the ground. She falls unconscious, stops moving, as one normally is when they're slammed into the ground like that.
Insurance.
She's got great dental insurance, actually. I would also like for you to read for our listeners what happens after your rage sort of culminates.
Yeah, it says when your rage ends, you slip into a dulled stupor with limited speech, focus, the inability to use unstoppable, smell metals, and you're also more susceptible than usual to frost. So all of the normal kind of hardiness and senses that I would have, I do not.
Yeah. Basically, I think what we talked about is like the Ramdan put all of their energy and will into this rage that when it's over, they're just sort of depleted. Can't really do a whole lot else.
Yeah.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like it's fight based, right? It's like once the fight is over, that's kind of when the rage ends. Like you build yourself up to fight.
To mark that there. But I'd be open to like an extended rage if I have more stuff to smash or more prisoners to deal with.
How many more rounds of rage do you have left until your next long rest?
Yeah.
Well, he has to keep attacking someone or getting attacked.
Every turn.
We're apparently filling the gap here on understanding with other systems.
It might be fun. Just I don't want to get too in the weeds on this, but maybe in the future, you guys can work out some system where maybe there's a certain amount of time where he can mark stress to keep the rage going.
I was about to ask something similar to that. I don't think as a Xeno, the prisoners are going to attack you.
Yeah, I'm also in prison garb.
And you're in prison garb. So there's once Aya's dealt with and unconscious, there's no immediate threat to you right now.
Now, could you clarify? Does she seem dead or unconscious?
She is not dead. She is unconscious. Okay. You did not kill her.
Because if Graves sees her breathing, I think there will just be kind of a moment where like his eyes glaze over and he just looks especially dark. And then he keeps hitting. And I'm going to just so you know, mechanically, I'm leaning into the trauma vicious.
Oh, yes. You see this person who's just completely at your whim, would not be able to fight back at all, but has been hunting you ever since you escaped her hit.
Yeah. When he's done pummeling her, like when she's no longer recognizable, he'll just whisper over her body, "Your score is settled." And then he'll peel himself away. I think that as kind of the freed prisoners are just like brushing past Graves is kind of when the fog sets in. Like it's just kind of, he feels disoriented now as all this chaos is around him and he just starts stumbling towards where he thinks his friends are.
I think like with the timing of where things are, if this works out, like I think Thetis would have come to try and help Graves after. Well, and so
for sure,
like I'm imagining this scene with like Thetis, like the prisoners are brushing by and Graves, you look over and Thetis is standing there with like blood spatter. Like he's been standing there longer than you realize. Like some of her blood has splattered like on his clothes, but he just stood there and let you do what you needed to.
I think too that some time passes during that. I'm gonna mark one more segment on the 160 dice.
That gives us one more segment.
That is
on the 160 dead clock.
Yes. Which
didn't happen to get.
I was gonna say maybe
training.
I say, Graves, you stand right here. Do not move.
Thetis, and his eyes just kind of wander vaguely towards the body of 160, and that's all he can manage at the moment.
And I pull off my prisoner shirt and I wrap it like around 160's body, like. I'm going to try and apply pressure, get the bleeding to stop as well as I can here. And
it sounds like an action to me.
I'm just looking to see if I have anything. I don't have anything in doctor, but I don't. Well, if I had a med kit, would that change anything? Like if I don't have necessarily a good role for this, but like
it'll probably increase the effect.
Okay. I'd rather have an increased effect than nothing at all. So I'm gonna mark that I have a med kit. That clears out my inventory. I can't take any new things.
Great.
But I pull out once I get the bleeding halfway stopped, I pull out the med kit. I'm just gonna doctor because that makes the most sense. I don't think anything else really makes sense.
We have 3 gambit.
I will use a gambit for sure.
Yeah, it's risky, and I think standard is that he'll 160 will be stabilized.
Come on.
I rolled a 1.
No.
No.
If this was the thing.
Okay, flashback. 160 can't die.
We gave him that immortality
Just
juice.
say that.
One of those like almost Rick and Morty-esque, like, hey, remember that time 160 drank that
immortality juice?
Well, okay. He died, but he died like recently. Maybe we get him into like, one of our stasis pods, and then we can.
Well,
take
hang
him to,
on.
like, an actual,
Let's see what
doctor.
happens. Let's see what he says the effect is, and then maybe I can resist that effect to prevent him from dying. We're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Okay. Let's
Yeah, I mean that is definitely what I was gonna do. Is I was gonna mark the last mark off of 160 dying.
Resist that.
Resist that, please.
You have 1 stress left to mark? Okay.
This is great.
Oh
I'm doing
man. All right. I mean, you can give me a little bit more about how you resist this. How do you try and keep 160
one of the things
alive
in
the midst of
one of the
this?
things in this med kit is like I see him, he's starting to like fade, right? He's starting to like I see like the light leaving his eyes. And so I pull out this what is it? Not an EpiPen, like an adrenaline shot basically, and I jam it into his chest and press the plunger down.
Okay. I think that's a resolve.
Okay.
I think that's a resolve.
Yeah, resolve.
Could be prowess.
I don't think so.
Quickness, accuracy.
I'm gonna say resolve. I'm gonna say it's the like presence of mind as somebody is dying in your arms to be like, shh, I have to do something right at this moment. Quick, grab this and shove it in there.
This is the dice that failed me last time. I'm gonna use a different one.
I mean, there's only one roll that's gonna keep us in the game.
I got a 6.
Man. Hey!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah! That was the most stressful roll I've ever rolled in my life.
Hey, I want to do something crazy when you get the chance.
I think we're gonna move. I think there's still some complications because you didn't like the clock is still ticking, right? You failed in stabilizing him. You just prevented him from dying, so he is still bleeding out. Clock is still active, but you've given yourself moments to do this. Gears. You've now seen a bunch of prisoners like running past you to run out and attack guards. What are you doing?
So we entered from like it seemed like pretty solidly what was in the guard area, maybe more recreational dormitory type stuff.
For sure.
Gears takes out a little switch, clicks it, and the little shield that was holding in the atmosphere in that section of the ship that we had cut a hole into disappears.
I love it. Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. I think I need an action for that for sure, because that was a narrative thing we just said, and now
are you
using
destabilizing the entire ship right now?
Dude, we're causing as much chaos as possible, so we can
leave. My god!
This is incredible. Such a choice. I love it.
Yeah,
it's great. I love it a lot. What action do you think that is?
Rig, probably.
Yeah, I like Rig. There is a part of me that was almost tempted to make this a flashback. In fact, actually, I think I might make this a flashback.
Oh,
I think the flash
while we were there.
I know, but like that's the perfect thing that you would do a flashback for, right? You're in this moment, and if you had not said anything, you would have been like, actually, we had set up a shield that kept the atmosphere in. And now I'm unlocking it.
What would the flashback be, though? Like, we saw him set up the shield already.
I know.
Yeah.
Our flashbacks for when
flashbacks are for inserting unestablished things, right?
Everyone
has
knows
already
the
been
best part of a
established.
movie is when they go back to the scenes you've already seen and you watch that scene again.
Let's flash back to this thing that I said I already did.
Come on, Justin.
I'm debating it. It feels like I just gave you something for free.
What,
Justin,
do you still have to roll?
If
I
you make
don't
this a
do it?
flashback, you're not invited to my birthday.
I mean, we can roll to see how effective it is, right? Like maybe
All right,
the
let's still see
ship's
how
automated systems
All
just.
right, okay. Let's
handle
just
it.
make it an action roll. What action do you think
Well,
you're using here?
I think it's rigged. So
Okay,
it's
I like that.
some
Yeah.
device that I set left somewhere.
I will let you have. I think this is a controlled position.
Nice.
I'm looking at the narrative. It's a controlled position. Even though you set that up for yourself, you just
Yeah,
gave yourself something that you could do later on.
Heck yeah.
And I didn't make you mark any item loadouts. I didn't make you have to get that thing.
And that feels like it's on you.
Well, to be fair, Slice
And-
is there and like can carry things, and
It's true.
I don't think it's crazy that he had, fine
It's
like
true.
ship
It's true.
repair
And if he rolls
tools.
bad, just kill Slice.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, you're right.
Well-
You're right, Johnny. I could kill Slice. Johnny, you're right. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. You're right. I could kill Slice. It's a controlled position.
Slice
and-
isn't in that
and
section, but he
standard
gets
effect.
vented too.
Anything less than a 6, Slice is dead.
We just see Slice get pulled
No,
through
no.
to that hole, just no matter where he is in the ship.
The rest of you are fine. It's just
Yeah.
Slice. Controlled position, standard effect.
I get less effect, so I get
Yes.
limited,
effect.
but I'm in controlled position, so I could trade position for effect, correct?
You could. You can make it risky and standard.
Ooh,
Risky and standard.
that seems like a good
That's
choice.
how I like it. I'm doing that. Risky and standard for sure. So maybe we knock the ship
many
a little
pips
off
do you have?
course. Or...
In rig. 2?
2.
Cool.
So I'm probably
Oh,
gonna
no,
take
we
a
could get another one.
Probably
Not everyone rolls like you, Johnny.
I did this time 6.
Oh! I stand corrected.
Steve uses gambits. He does not earn them.
Go ahead. You.
If I had to guess based on the ways that each of us roll where we had pips, I would have to assume that Steve has put 0 pips in any skills.
just scrap.
Every single pip is in scrap.
Somehow he has 9 in scrap. I don't really understand.
I don't think that's right, but
I can climb anything. Oh, I mean fight.
Climbing, punching.
what is a fight if not the attempt to climb over, a person as an obstacle?
I think you're fighting wrong.
What
What
is
is
Graves thinks about it?
What is fighting but climbing with a closed fist?
No.
There is a explosion in the recreational guards area. There is a motion as space begins pulling people out into it.
Oh, God.
I will tell you what. I will mark 2 off of the prisoners' overrun ships because there are now less guards to deal with as some of them get vented out.
Technically, that's a clock that I worked on with rig.
It is
Ah,
a
that means I
clock
get an
that
extra
you worked
segment.
on with rig. I will mark 3 on that clock.
Let's go.
I will mark 3.
We're playing
on
the
that.
game,
Poor
boys.
Slice, though.
There you go. There you go. And
Well,
the
come on.
Slice gets Slice. You watch
Yeah,
as
Slice
Slice
is
is
dead.
standing next to you, and he just gets sucked out of the. You
Like
turned
down
your-
the hall,
actually,
up
you
several
turned
flights
your-
of stairs.
Or even better, you turned your attention away for a moment, and a prisoner just like tripped and shoved a shiv into Slice as he was.
Why? We let you free.
I'm so sorry if it's an accident. Thank you for freeing us. No. Havoc.
So to
well,
clarify, Slice
actually-
is alive.
Yeah, sorry,
Slice.
I'm making things
Slice.
confusing.
Yeah, Slice is
Slice.
live. Slice is still alive.
This was a joke to mess with me.
Yeah.
I think it is time. I don't want to move to Havoc. I don't want to move to Havoc quite yet. I think that the three of you need to group up and figure out where are you going. How are you getting back to your ship?
I mean, now that section is vented, could we put spacesuits on and
make your way back there?
Head there
For sure. You certainly can.
Are there airlocks between sections of the ship?
can.
Like, will we be able to move over there without accidentally venting?
There'll be bulkheads. Because the whole ship isn't going to vent. Because
it's
ships
just
would
Right, so there's going to be an airlock bulkhead that we
bulkheads
can move in. Then, okay, cool.
For sure. Yep, exactly. Gears, you go down the hallway to try and find Graves and Thetis. You see Graves in a state I don't know if you've ever seen him in before. Maybe at the end.
Yeah, I
of
was going to say, I think that maybe this
on.
is actually familiar to Thetis.
But you would know that when you come up to Graves that he has entered into that Ramdan rage that you've seen a few times before, and he's just kind of standing there, not really moving, not really responding to any external stimuli, and you see Thetis standing over 160's bleeding out body.
Are we ready to go back to the ship? Do we need... I haven't seen any of the prisoners we came for, but we have 160, and he needs attention.
Let's just head out. If we can't find any mem along the way, then they're on their own, I guess.
The prisoners are taking the ship. Hopefully the mem will be okay, but I think we need to get 160 into one of your stasis pods.
How do you know about that?
Graves told me, and I've been on your ship for a week and a half.
But they're hidden. I guess they're not hidden very well. I help in however much I can. Herd
Graves. If you heard Graves, I'll use my kinetic abilities to just like lift 160 and bring 160 with us.
For sure.
Because he's smaller than Graves, right?
Table weigh about
he's
160. Like... He is. He's 160.
Oh yeah, that I can
160
definitely
pounds.
pick up 160.
Cool.
Yeah,
that is the traditional Ramdan naming cycles to name yourself after. How large you are.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and I am going to use one of our gambit, just so you know, to mark that, Nick. I'm using because I don't have the stress to spend on my kinetics, but I can use gambit instead.
So you're marking the gambit.
Gotcha.
I would like, I think now, a group roll to maneuver through this chaotic scene back to the hatch.
Do we think it's scramble in this direction?
I think
scramble makes sense. I think scramble makes a lot of sense.
Would I not be rolling since I'm not there?
You will not be.
I could lead this one again. I have decent scramble. I don't know what yours is at.
Okay.
But...
Bad.
Okay.
How much stress do you have to spare, John?
Graves isn't out of combat, right? He's
not
worse at stuff.
Correct.
Okay.
How many gambit do we have?
Sorry, out of encounter. Not combat.
2?
2.
Okay. So does nobody use gambit?
I have to steal one.
Nobody use gambit just in case. Because if I'm leading, I don't have a lot of stress left, but I can, because of the way, I can use gambit instead of paying a stress cost.
Mark gambit.
So I can get, if we have gambit available, I won't take any stress for this, even if you guys do poorly. So
okay. Cool. Then all right.
I will say this is a risky position. I will say it's a standard effect.
Cool. Listen, clicky clackies.
I created.
Okay.
I got double 6s. So
nice.
Great. Yes.
Okay. That's good. I got a 3. I rolled a 5 and a 3, but I did a bad.
You take the less.
What about you, Steve?
That's 2, not 3. I don't know why I said that.
He's pretty.
6.
Carlton's pretty good at scrambling. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So just one gambit then taken away instead of stress. Perfect. You do. You maneuver through. Now at this point, just complete chaos. There are hallways where guards are just mowing down prisoners, but there are hallways where prisoners are have taken the guns from the guards that they've killed and are now firing back at the guards. There are fires everywhere. It is just chaos. There's klaxon alarms the entire time you're moving back. But eventually you do get back to the hatch that you came into. And when you climb up the ladder, you see that Havoc has pulled a ship up close.
Ooh.
It's just a little hop. Still risky, but not a clock. A little just hop over.
Can we do a thing
Quick,
real quick?
quick.
So like before we get to the airlock, we're putting on our suits. Our space suits. Because since I didn't bring one, Gears has one. I think what we'll do, but he's in his like catatonic state, is Graves. Oh no, sorry, not Gears. Graves.
Yep.
I think Thetis does what he did with Havoc and wraps himself around Graves, but then it's kind of like puppeting Graves. Okay. So he's like the one moving Graves' body to like put the suit on.
Cool.
And,
I love that.
Kind of creepy, but also really cool.
We can burn it. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
I love it. And you would know too that Graves has probably said that, and you've seen it now too, that like both Graves and 160 can survive for a moment in the vacuum of space without a suit. So 160 is probably okay as long as you can get there quickly and get him into a stasis.
But with the whatchamacallit, after the rage, Graves wouldn't be okay in space right now, right?
Correct.
Maybe less okay. Yeah.
Need that suit.
Yeah.
He's got the suit on.
Graves needs the suit.
So 160 will be okay temporarily.
And Steve, I thought of I think I have a better mechanical way to resolve the rage ending. We'll talk about this.
Cool.
After I think it'll make more sense in the mechanics of it. I think it's another group action to get to hop from the prison freighter to the Montressor.
Yeah,
who
real
would like
quick.
to lead it?
Gears ties everybody together. I just want to throw that out. So
You're good. You're fine.
Same deal.
Yeah.
Same setup. That's what I'm saying.
I was going to say, like, I think there's two ways that we could play this that makes sense to me without Havoc and his suit. Is Scramble again, or again I can lead, or Attune, where I could use the way and the kinetics to try and guide us through space.
Yeah,
I love it. I love either one.
I can also sorry, I was gonna say Havoc can also like open up the hatch and just back up onto them.
For sure. Yeah.
Like as they're floating in space as well.
We can have Havoc help in this one for sure. Do a group action with everybody.
Okay.
What do we think?
Yeah. So
I lean towards Scramble for its familiarity to the group, but
I mean, either way. I'm like I said, I could lead this one again because I can use the Gambit instead of stress, so nobody has to take any stress for it
instead of paying stress.
Here's a interesting mechanical question. Not to derail this too much. We did not use a Gambit on that risky roll.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And
so you would get a Gambit.
Oh,
okay, good.
So we're still at 3.
Yep.
But then, okay.
Or
cool.
2 rather. 2.
We're at 2. We're at 2.
Yeah, so 2. But we're still at 2. So I spent 1, but we got 1. So yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Exactly.
Our Gambits.
So I just want to make sure.
Wait. Oh yeah, you spent 1 to get rid of the stress. Okay, I got you.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Not to. Yep. Yeah. So you're back at 2.
Cool. Scramble
again.
All right. And so I'm leading.
Okay. Give me.
Okay.
Yep.
Give me those scramble rolls.
2.
Okay.
1.
Okay.
4.
I got double 1s.
Okay.
Oh
no! So 4 is her highest.
No.
4 is your highest,
and that's 3 stress.
And
there's no stress because of the Gambit.
Is it for
any stress
at
cost?
all?
Spend a Gambit instead of any stress cost, and so that's all one roll. That's the stress cost of that one roll. That one group roll.
I see it.
I see the lines.
Anytime you need to spend stress, spend a Gambit. So the push. Oh, you're right. Only costs 1 Gambit. Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Cool.
That's dope. So
thank the way.
Back to
This
1.
is the way.
I thought that was
Gambit. I thought Thetis was about to be out as well too.
Just float in space.
with Graves just stuck inside of.
No.
Oh.
Here is what I think it is, though. In the vacuum of space, some of 160's resistance has faltered a little bit. You begin to see his wounds start to ice over and blacken as exposure to space starts to take him completely. And I'm gonna mark that last one. Unless you roll to resist.
Do I? If somebody rolls to resist, does it have to be me since I was leading that roll?
No, it does not have to be.
It's a group action. I'm fine with anybody taking.
I mean, we still have one gambit. I guess I could
resistance
technically
roll.
do it, and if I need to, just use the gambit to not take stress. But
I could probably.
Sorry.
Okay. I was gonna say, like using insight, like Gears might like see what's going on and like be able to, I don't know, use something. The blaster pistol that Graves gave me. I crack it open and just started like overheating and like.
Okay. There we go. I was like, all right,
So
where's this
kill him
going?
instead of letting him die?
Pretty sure Graves told me this is how Ramdan's like to go.
Yeah,
Execute him.
I think that's.
Yeah,
I think it sounds like prowess. Sounds like prowess.
Prowess.
Yeah.
How's your? Because I had an idea for Havoc to possibly resist too, which would be using prowess.
Okay. If it's prowess, I'm not going to do it. Straight up. I can't.
I mean,
So if it's prowess,
right.
I could roll really well.
I don't understand how it's prowess though, because like I'm trying to like quickly.
Oh, because
like,
you said insight.
Yeah, I was trying to like quickly like.
Okay, all right. I like
mod the pistol, invert it, whatever. It's like overcharging, so that it can like produce some heat, and I like rest it on the wound.
The GM chooses the attribute based on the nature of the consequence.
Nature of the consequence. Yeah, I mean it is your choice. You're the GM. I'm just opening up to the rest of the people who have the ability to resist this. That if it's,
depending on
if it's not insight,
depending
I
on
can't roll it.
which skill tree it is, it might make the most sense for me to do it, especially because
we're all going to be doing different things,
but none of us
and
have much stress left, and I have the ability to not take any.
Yeah,
I want to know who is resisting the roll.
I think it makes the most sense for me to resist.
Okay, because it doesn't really matter what you roll; you'll just spend that game.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Unless I'm going to try and crit, but I'm going to use the gambit if I have to.
Sure, I guess you could try and quit. Yeah. I think it's a prowess thing. I think it's a matter of trying to get 160 into the stasis pod quickly.
Okay. Yeah, and I have three dice in prowess anyway, so that's helpful. So I might not need to use that gambit. I'm going to use that gambit.
Great.
I rolled a 5.
Lovely.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty good. Unfortunately,
you get rid of that last gambit. You get 160 into a stasis pod. Just barely. You can see that his wounds have started to almost completely ice over. It's now spreading up the rest of his body. His breath is short as you put him in the stasis pod. And I'm not going to make you guys roll to escape because I think the isotropic max secure prison freighters dealing with something.
They're a little preoccupied.
got something going on.
A little bit more important than trying to catch that one spaceship that suddenly pulled up to it. I'm sure there'll be no consequences for your actions here on the prison freighter.
Well,
though.
we get to find out.
We literally get to find out right after this.
None of us are physically
after this.
recognizable in any way, so.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have an octopus, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think you guys escape, and I don't think you know how the revolution on the ship goes. You're not quite sure what ends up happening. Do the prisoners take it over? Do the guards fight them back? You're not there. You don't know.
But you know.
I know. And at some point, I will decide what I think is the most interesting for the narrative.
And I feel like no matter what it is, somehow it's going to make us sad.
Oh, for sure.
It's gonna be bad for us.
Oh, for sure. It'll be worse for you in whatever way. Not necessarily. No, maybe you make some new contacts in the criminal world. But you escape with 160 alive, and you hope that the mem were able to make it out safely as well too. But you at least saved 160.
I really thought there was no way we were making it out of there, so I'm pretty shocked right now.
I was close. There were a lot of moments I was like, whoa. All right. I would love to know, you know what? Well, let's just start moving into some of the downtime stuff. See what we get done.
Yeah, let's just do the after job stuff.
Yeah. You know, you guys go back to Warren. And I should also, when we get to Heat, I'll figure out where this ship was.
Well, perhaps the most imminent thing is, do we get 160 conscious and able to tell us anything?
Yeah, so that's
before the downtime stuff kind of comes into play, or
so
should we
kind of move in between free time and downtime? So
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Is, you know, it takes you some time to get back to Warren, and during that time, you're able to patch up 160, keep him alive, and he stabilizes, and you are able to save him. He is unconscious for most of the trip. But then eventually he comes to towards some of the end. Is very weak. Who's in the room with him? Like who sits with him as he's like recovering?
Graves certainly would. He wouldn't object to anyone else doing that as well.
I think there's
Okay. That makes sense. There's some connection there. Yeah, the two of you hear a weak cough come from 160's bed.
Shh.
What happened?
You are awake. You were shot.
Yeah. Yes. By that woman. She said she was gonna kill you. Grace, where are you? And he looks over and sees you. Oh, Grace. You're okay. Yes, Talesh.
160. We couldn't save the mem, but they may have taken over the ship. I hope you were worth it.
I don't know if anybody is worth the loss of anyone else's life.
Tell us everything you can. And Graves walks out and leaves it to Theodos.
I'm working closely with the Direnet gang. We've been trying to introduce rebel pockets across the sector, and it's slow going. My work has been trying to find Ramdan settlements, and the only one I know of is on Lithios, and the hegemony presence isn't large there. I thought if I could find where the Ramdan came from, that we could go there and bring an army of Ramdan to the galaxy. But when you dropped off those weapons at Mem, they were following you somehow and found our cell on Mem, took us captive.
Would your research have led them to the Ramdan on Lithios?
It might, yeah.
That is a tragedy.
It might. When I'm good, I'll take a ship and I'll go to Lithios and warn them.
For now, you must rest. You are not well.
And 160 closes his eyes and falls back asleep. You won't find no resistance from telling him to rest.
I think one thing that this is just RP, not even not mechanically necessarily, but one thing Thetis has been doing is whenever 160 is asleep, he uses the way to like enhance his sleep and just make sure he's getting the most out of his.
For sure. I love that. You get back to Warren, and 160 recovers enough that he charters his own ship to Lithios, and
Here's stops him.
Shoots him again.
You've got it. You've got a ship, friend. That's
oh, all right, okay.
you've already got it right.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting kindness. Thank you. Sorry, I'm so used to... Well, I'm sure you can guess.
I just think we can help.
Is your intent to just drop him off and come back to Warren, or?
Well, I think we did go to well, I guess, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's up to you.
I think it's up to the crew a little bit.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. Up to you as a
You can
collective.
I think if Graves is presenting this question to the crew, or Gears, I'm sorry. I
So you did. I did too.
Yeah, we did not intend this.
Two G's.
No, I think Thetis is the first one to speak up. If we have the power to help those on Lithios, I think it is our duty to do so.
Is Lithios going to be in like a dire strait? I guess I turned to 160.
It's hard to tell. There's a small nomadic tribe of Ramdan, not a handful, barely surviving.
Okay. Just in case, you think we could just stop at Warren and like get some medical assistance?
We certainly could. Yeah.
Potentially stop at a space station along the way. I actually don't know where the planet you're talking about is.
It's not in the Rin system.
Is it in Breck?
Leaving Rin sounds like a good idea. I'll take that, actually.
I believe it is in the...
Oh, wait. We've been in Holt.
Iota system. Yep.
Okay.
I will say that, let's see, what system is Isotropic Max secured in? There's like it's here. Entry somewhere. Where are you? I'll figure it out later.
They're the most notorious
Where
prison
are
system in the
you?
Procyon sector.
Breck.
Procyon sector is the whole sector.
That is the whole sector. Yep.
It's in Breck.
It's in Breck.
There's the Breck.
So were we in Breck while doing this job?
Yes, I will say that you were in Breck. I think that makes the most sense.
Okay,
Cool.
Well, I don't mind going back to Holt for Warren, but if we're already on our way to Iota, we can just stop at like a station there.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, then I think what happens is after some more time, 160 recovers. He's still weak, but he can move around and help around. And he there's like an evening where he walks up to Carlton. He's like, Yashtali Talash.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank you. You hear a horn of another ship passing by. Get off the road!
Your life may yet be worth something, 160.
I'm gonna need you guys to do a quick, just do that conversation, but like 10 seconds back, just over again.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
My OBS completely crashed for a moment. Okay.
Oh no. There's a moment where 160 goes up to Carlton. Yes, Talash.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for coming for me and saving me. I'm sorry for having to be saved.
I didn't do it for you.
Oh,
Your life may yet be worth something, 160. Perhaps if you serve the people, our people, instead of abandoning them for curiosities, you may yet earn your name.
he turns around to walk out and then turns back around. Everything that I have done is for our people, Carlton Graves. You know what we have been through. Being subjugated by the hegemony and forced to work in their factories and for the resources that they stole from us. Just because I don't kill people, beat them to a bloody pulp, Thetis told me what you did. Doesn't mean I'm not working for our people. There are other ways to serve Carlton Graves.
We will see.
And as he leaves a cred stick on the table and walks out and says, "It's not much, but thank you."
Graves picks it up.
It is understandably a small amount coming from just one person. It is 4 cred.
I thought 4 cred was a lot.
4 cred is a small job.
Oh, I
It's
had
a lot
my
for
scale
us.
in my head wrong for that. Okay.
8
We
cred's a
are
lot.
broke.
Two
That's not-
cred seemed like too little to give you.
Hey, we're
Cool.
not arguing for less. Thank you.
I'm not.
Thank you. Let's finish this conversation.
So
Yeah.
4 cred. I think it is time now for the upkeep. Now you did
Yes.
skip it last time. Do you want to pay the cred this time, which is 1, or do you want to skip the upkeep roll again?
I will pay the cred.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's 3 cred left.
Okay. All right, and now we get into heat.
Oh God.
Heat in the Breck system.
I think this one is a solid 0.
Yeah, so quiet.
Hey, no one can tell on you if there's no one to tell on you.
Again,
I think
what
we're
happened?
taking at least 6 heat. That's insane.
I
We don't have any heat in the Breck system. It's nice.
You don't have
Okay,
any heat in
well,
the Breck system, so
not-
that's
not-
good.
Can I'm going to
Not for
play
long.
devil's advocate and go against the interests of my own party once again, and just point out that a system like Isotropic Mexic here probably is not entirely a closed system. They probably have ways of monitoring what was happening on the ship externally. And
Oh,
just
for
because
sure.
we were looping
For
what was
sure.
being seen on the security cameras doesn't mean we were isolating what was
Yeah.
being recorded by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at my
Mhm.
chart here, and I was like, okay, is it contained standard exposure? I don't think so.
Oh no,
maybe.
it's definitely at least loud and chaotic.
But and then I read loud and chaotic high exposure, and I'm like, that feels pretty accurate for what just occurred
that's fair.
over this last job. So I think
and we did some killing.
base is loud and chaotic.
We did killing.
I don't think it was high profile enough. Isotropic Massacre is a pretty nameless organization, so I don't think in that sense it's that. And no public use of artifacts. Did you use them, but not publicly in front of a bunch of people. So I'm fine with not giving you that. But you did kill hegemonic citizens, quite a lot actually.
A couple.
Well, you killed 2 on screen, and many
And then-
more died off screen.
Yeah,
as
At
a
least it's
result
not-
of
I think
we
your
killed more than
actions.
okay,
2.
I won't argue.
At least
with
it's
you.
not
That's
2
true.
heat per citizen.
Yeah.
So
And even if you didn't kill anyone, I would probably give it to you for massive property damage as well too.
Yeah.
So
fair.
definitely 2 heat. So I do think in total it is 6 heat in the Breck system.
At least we didn't damage a hyperspace lane or system gate.
At least you did not
Yet.
damage a
Hey.
hyperspace lane.
We didn't take a wanted level in Breck.
Goals.
We're not going
Goals.
to Breck for a while.
Yeah, stay away from Breck for a bit. I am going to roll.
Do you still have a wanted level in Breck now?
You
Oh, okay.
do
Okay.
not.
No, we do not.
Still
I
wanted
said we
0.
don't have a wanted level in Breck, but we
Yes.
still shouldn't go there for a while.
Do you have any?
Hmm.
Interesting. Let me check my notes here. Come on.
Come on, yep.
Let's check out these factions. What sort of statuses do we have with factions? Oy vey. It's loading
Oh,
forever.
Concordia tier -1, Isotrope Max Secure -1, +1 Bornico, +1 Counters Guild.
I don't think you have +2 or +3 with anybody. So
No.
nothing happens.
nice.
Nothing happens.
Excellent.
Yeesh.
For now, nothing
As far as we
happens.
know.
As far as you know, nothing happens. So that was entanglements. What do we think? We're going to do PC advancement and crew advancement right now. We'll finish with that, and we'll do downtime
Sure.
activities.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Let's do it. All right. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritages, or background?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dope, Marcus. Did you struggle with the issues from your vice or trauma? I think a couple of you did.
Yeah.
That's a yes
Yeah.
for Havoc, definitely.
For sure. Wonderful. And then, all right, let's go to gears. Did you address challenge with technical skill or ingenuity?
Yeah, several times, I think.
Yeah, I think go ahead and take 2 XP for that one.
Cool.
I think you did it quite a lot. Carlton Graves, did you address a challenge with force or threat?
No, I was pretty pacifistic this time.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, go. I think definitely 1. I don't know if it's necessarily 2.
Okay.
But I think it's definitely at least 1.
Yep.
Thetis, did you address challenges with wisdom or the way?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. For sure you did. Havoc, did you address challenges with speed or flair?
I would argue, yeah. I mean, when you sprinted back to the ship.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
the-
and
yeah.
and I think leading the group action to like jump across to the
Yeah.
prison freighter. Yeah, I definitely won. I think 1 for sure.
Question.
Yeah.
Because I use the way to
Yeah.
address I address tough challenges. I feel like multiple times, but also in multiple different ways using the way. Can I mark 2, or do you think just 1 still?
Yeah, I was make your argument to me. The one that stands out the most is like the calming of emotions. And while you did do that multiple times, it was kind of the
Also,
same
then I
thing.
also got the password for the system to be able to
Yeah.
Okay.
start the prison riot. I used my kinetic ability, which is an extension of the way.
You did use the kinetic ability.
Cool. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Oh no.
Why is it doing that?
Your camera, I think, is also. Oh, he's gone.
The
Oh,
leaderless pack.
I know I didn't say it when the question was asked, but I do think Gears expressed their beliefs, drives, heritage, and/or background at the very end there.
Yeah.
With, given what's his face a ride.
Oh
And
yeah,
also setting everybody free.
not bad. Not a bad day
Did
to
not struggle
express
with
yourself
issues.
through heroism.
Oh, interesting. So for one of those group actions we rolled during that job, you know how each of us
Yeah.
rolled a 6? We didn't count that as a critical, did we?
I thought.
Oh, we're not supposed to,
Oh,
Group actions.
because I have a job that specifically lets you count multiple 6s from different roles in a group action as a critical.
Perfect. That is good to know.
That's good to
That
know.
is good to know. I don't think it
An ability,
changed
rather.
too much.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have changed things much at all because there were still 6s.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. But now we know that it's a single person that has to roll the critical for that to be. That makes sense. Okay. Did anyone get a PC advancement?
No.
Yes.
Nice.
No.
What'd you get? What'd you pick?
I don't know yet.
Okay, that's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
I did get
I
one.
remember.
I will
Okay.
also have to announce it next time.
That's fine. Think
Yeah,
about
I'll
it.
announce it next
That's
time.
good to,
Yeah,
good
think
to
about
click on it.
between now. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Your crew advancement. What is it? Did you successfully execute a
Transport or smuggling
Yep,
operation.
transport or smuggling operation?
Yes.
I think so, for sure. Yeah.
We smuggled him out of there.
Smuggle them out. Totally.
Crazy
Totally.
one. It's a crazy job.
Did you
Good old
contend?
smuggle and snuggle.
Did you contend with challenges above your
Yeah.
current station? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? I
Ooh.
don't.
I think we might have developed
We
a new
might
one.
have. This is a shift outside of doing
Yeah.
a job.
Sure.
And it's more kind
Yeah.
of like a little bit of rebellion.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, so personally, my thought is like, I don't know that we established a new one yet, but I think
don't think so.
that if taking 160 to Lithios turns into a whole thing, I think by the end of that job, we will have established a new reputation.
Maybe. Yeah,
Mm.
maybe. I
Yeah.
think you're right. I'm with Johnny. I don't know if you get
Yep.
that
Yep.
mark for this one.
We're only kind of just started sort of like expanding scope right now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
and
not
it's-
clear to anybody what
It's
that
true.
means.
This is your first like non-mercenary esque job, the one that you kind of did for you
Yeah.
rather than for money. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
I think so.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
so. We got a crew advancement last time, so I doubt we get one this time.
We did not.
Did not.
Too short.
All right, close though. There's one last thing we need to do before this episode closes, which is we open up on a room that is filled with screens just everywhere. And they're not all the same. They're showing all these different things. Some are cameras, some are numbers that are flying past. There is a silhouette of a person standing with their back to the camera looking at these screens. And then there's a screen that is black that pops up and it has a message on it. This silhouette walks over to it. The camera starts zooming in to see what the message says. And it says, Aya has failed. Send in the contingency plan. And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Oh man.
Well, scum and villainy. Scum and villainy.
I need a nap.
Felt a
Yeah.
little villainous there with the beating
Yeah.
someone beyond recognition. But yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
that was the most
that's
good.
scum and villainy we've seen from Graves so far. I feel like.
I think so.
Mhm.
Graves
yeah.
really leaned into this scummy
Yeah.
villainry.
I'm glad we're focusing
Yeah.
on Graves right now.
It's fun.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. We'll have to see what comes out of this. I'm really excited. I think we're cooking now with these jobs and these characters, and it's fun. It is fun to see them. We hope that you enjoy listening to this. If you do, feel free to give us a review on your podcatcher of your choice, or join our Patreon. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I think when this comes out, it's the same day that we're doing the Patreon hangout.
Oh wow!
So I guess if you listen to it on that day and you're like, quick, I need to join Patreon so I can hang out with these goofballs. Feel free to join our Patreon at any level. On December 15th, we're having a Dustfire Christmas party. Bring your ugly sweaters, bring your Christmas snack or drink of choice, and we'll have some merry cheer and Christmas games all together in our Discord. So join our Patreon and then hop in our Discord and you'll get exclusive access to that. It's always fun hanging out with
it's
people.
gonna be a blast.
Excuse me. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
See ya.
Whoa.